In my last video, I showed how to remove the glued-on end like this on the hot tub. Well, these are the new parts. I have to shorten this pipe. Now I'm making this whole thing slightly longer. So if I change my mind and want to make it back to the way it's supposed to be, I'll have some to cut off. This fixed. These hot tubs, they're pretty much, the frames and everything, they're kind of made out of cheese. So I have to take this off of here pretty soon now. I'm just going to make a flat spot and we're going to see if I can get this off without completely destroying it. I've got an area here that's pretty close to flat. Just needs a little bit more flattening. So it has to be put relatively close to where you see that wire coming out of the ground. I should just say, when I talk about electrical, like for the hot tub or anything else for that matter, the electrical code is constantly being revised and things are changing all the time. I could go in for lunch and come back out and the rules have changed. It's just the way it is when it comes to electrical. So I'm going to be kind of vague when I talk about it. You should just get a qualified electrician to do it. They're always up on what the code is. As far as hot tubs go, there's, well, right off the top of my head, I can think of one thing that's different is, see, now you have to have a disconnect switch within view of the hot tub. Not too close to the hot tub, but within view. That's so if you're working on the hot tub, you've got it shut off. That's so nobody goes up to your panel and turns it back on. You have to be able to see where it is shut off. And I believe that works with other things like air conditioners and stuff like that as well. They need disconnects nearby. With that comes a lot more expense too, because you have to buy connectors and everything else, and the box, it all has to be rated for outdoor use. Anyways, most of what I talk about is probably still true today. And after looking at this tub, I pulled open the panel and looked at the electrical connections. Now this hot tub does not use a neutral, whereas my last hot tub did. So yeah, they're always going to be different. So you can't take, anything I say, take with a grain of salt. That wire is called a tech cable here in Canada. It's a 3-conductor 6-gauge wire. 3-conductor plus bonding wire, so it's kind of actually 4. You don't necessarily have to use the tech cable here in Canada. You can use NMMD wire, which is also rated for underground burial. And now the fact that it's in the yard, it's not somewhere where people drive over it. So the rules here are it has to be 18 inches or 45 centimeters deep. This is actually deeper. It's about 2 feet deep. It's 2 feet deep. You bury it 2 feet down. You put about a foot of dirt over it, and then you run, it's that fluorescent tape, and it says underground burial. You run that in the hole, and then you put the rest of the dirt in. But you do have to have inspection, and you do have to have permits here anyways. That's not the case everywhere. Even fairly close to here, there's places where you don't need inspections. So another reason that it's going to go out here, typically in the winter time here, there'll be 4 feet of snow, say, all winter long, which is fine. But if I put it closer to the house, there can be 10 feet, 12 feet of snow, because everything that falls off the roof of the house. There is some other reasons why I'm putting it here, which will become apparent in the future. As you can see, that won't work with the ramps like that. So, okay, somewhat like that. Now I'm going to tie the ramps to the rails so they don't slide when the pressure of the tub gets on them. The ramps are slightly lower than the rails, so it shouldn't gouge the bottom of the tub. Ropes are holding the ramps. Now a few rubber mats, and we should be good to go. I'm pretty sure those rubber mats aren't going to do nothing whatsoever. Okay, that seemed to have worked. However, now I gotta put new screws on the other side, so I'll put new screws in and then I'll get back to pulling it off. I couldn't reach the other side to put new screws in when it was sitting on the trailer, but now I can. Okay, that's not right. What kind of hillbilly puts a hot tub in his front yard? This kind of hillbilly. Hot tubs have to have GFCI breakers. With exception, I think, of there's some new hot tubs that have those GFCIs built into them. In this case, it's an old tub, so the breaker that goes in your panel is GFCI, which is ground fault circuit interrupter, something like that. Very important. Don't want to electrocute yourself. I should just mention the yard is a big mess. I'm going to smooth it out a little bit, just take a few minutes and run the machine back and forth a few times and backblade it. Eventually I'll throw some grass seed. Next time I go to town, I'll grab some grass seed and see if some grass will grow on it.